Hey, good people. This is what my third, fourth time going to the lighthouse in one weekend. That's not a brag anymore, okay? Before y'all light me up in the comments. But as you can see from all of this freaking loot, there's been some changes to trials, y'all. Been some changes, okay? And those changes have some people feeling good, some people not happy. So are these changes good for the game? Did this save trials? Let's talk about some of the changes and let's talk about an opinion on that. And I really want to hear your opinion, okay? So there's pages and pages of changes that are happening to trials, y'all. But let's talk about the fundamental ones and go from there. So they've condensed the passages into two passages only. One lets you play with people in your skill level, doesn't give you any chance to go to the lighthouse. That one should be easier, really aimed at people who don't want to face the sweatiest of sweaty opponents and just rank up their progress as a bonus for that in there. And then there's a lighthouse passage. What's the biggest change to the lighthouse passage, y'all ask? Well, on this passage, as long as you get 7 wins, does not matter how many losses you get in between 0 and 7 wins, you can go to the lighthouse. Yeah, you heard that right. Now, the trick with this is that your win streak directly correlates to your bonus of rewards. So if you play and you get a better win streak, the more better reward you get and the better percentage chance you have at getting certain things you might want. With that being said, let's talk about adept weapons. So adept weapons are usually the top things people are chasing for that week. So if you get at least a 3 win streak or more and go to the lighthouse, you're guaranteed an adept weapon. What? Yep, you heard that correctly. Now you have a chance at 1 win for 30%, and at 2 win streaks, you have a 60% chance to get it. Is that great? I think those are high numbers. I think that's very rewarding. Now, when you get to the lighthouse, when you open the chest, you see you'll get a whole lot of loot, regardless. Whether it's just upgrade materials, it could be ciphers so you can buy an adept weapon or other weapons, trials engrams, you're gonna get something. It's definitely way more rewarding across the board. But the 7 wins, no matter what losses, that's the hot button right there. There's a side of people in the community that used to play trials, and when it was, you had to go flawless, meaning you could never lose on those 7 games unless you had a mercy on a certain passage. You don't know what I mean. And those people are usually not liking this. Not all of them, just most of them. And then the other side is the people who couldn't or didn't want to play with that group of people, found it miserable, and now they get to go to the lighthouse. So is that a good thing? I really want to hear what y'all got to say in the comments. I really do, but please keep it respectful. We don't do that petty stuff here, okay? All right, most of the time. Is this good for the game? Is this disrespecting people who have gone flawless the traditional way and just giving out everything to everybody? I don't know. Let's talk a little bit more about how this works and maybe we'll figure it out. So there's new armor, vehicles, ghosts, and cosmetics, and you have a chance to get them on a point system. This is another big change. If you win enough games in a row or play on the completed lighthouse passage, you'll be able to accumulate points toward a certain cosmetic pool. What the hell does this mean? So, for the exclusive cosmetics, let's say one pool is sparrows and ships, right? If you really want one of those, what happens now is if you do the things I just mentioned, you'll get points towards a max limit. And that limit is 1,000 points. When you reach the 1,000 points, you are guaranteed to get something out of that pool. So that takes some of the RNG out of it, at least. I mean, you have a chance to get it before then, from what I know. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But it's nice that they're taking some of the RNG pain out of it. So that's another good change. Another change is matchmaking. They've changed matchmaking, y'all, so that if you go into a duo, you will more readily be thrown against trios of full stack. And the reason is they want to incentivize people playing in a full stack. Now, this sounds bad because when I was playing Trials before, you were thinking, most people would think, hey, I don't want to get into a stack because then I'm just facing the sweatiest of 3 stacks. So the most you would want to do is 2 people, and then hopefully you get matched with like 3 solos or a duo and a solo, and then you'll just hope that your team ends up being better than theirs. So now when you play in a full stack, you'll get bonus rewards, rank, reputation, and the good thing for those solo players still, to incentivize them staying in the pool with this change, is if you're solo, and let's say you get put with a duo against a full stack, you'll get lost forgiveness in case you are still trying to go actual flawless. Because you can still go actual flawless, of course, and you will get the most rewards if you do. So why should you even go flawless anymore? So from what I read, one of the biggest things, of course, is you'll get the max amount of loot. You can get the adepts, you'll get more points, you'll get a chance at the cosmetics right off the bat, and you will get a red glow. The glow is not exclusive just to flawless players anymore. You will get the red glow. A flawless player does exclusively get the red glow for the week. But as you drop down and you get smaller win streaks, like 5, you'll get the other different colors of glows. There's not as much exclusivity to a flawless, but it will reward you the most, the absolute most, y'all. So are you happy with that? Is that okay for my true blue flawless players? Cause see, in my opinion, and I'm coming from the opinion of someone who I would say is above average in PvP. I'm definitely not a Trials savant. I'm not freaking John Wick out there. But I have played Trials a decent amount before these changes, and I have gone flawless in that system. And man, it's been painful trying to go flawless in that system. So I know what it's like to fight, scratch, and fight for it. And I've never had a team that I could full stack with like that to play Trials. So I got that going for me. And now I have played in this new system, which I can say has had me playing more. And I have been to the lighthouse, I think the fourth time I think is this one right here. But I gotta admit, it feels a little dirty. Just a little bit.
You're a little nasty.
I don't know, do y'all feel that way? Now here's the thing. Let's look at it from Bungie's perspective. Trials, the state of Trials was that the player pool was so small, it was miserable for most people. It just was. And the incentives were just not good enough to pull people in unless it was a depth weapon that I really wanted. It's the only times I would go into Trials, and even then sometimes I was like, it's not worth it. So Bungie is in a lose-lose situation here. I feel like this is my personal opinion again. And Bungie, in order to get the population, filled with more and more players coming back, they had to put the best rewards out there in a more accessible way for people. They had to, y'all. I'm sorry, right? That's Bungie's position. So I can see that part of it. That was the smart move if you wanted to save Trials. Now, I can also see the other end from someone who's always done it, flawless or bust, pause, and you were going for the adept and you earned them by never losing or just losing with the mercy or however you did it. I can get that feeling like, damn, they just giving it away now. Are they? Not really, but at the same time, kind of yes. So it's a lose-lose for Bungie. They had to do this and they weren't going to make everybody happy. So the question is this best for Trials? That's the question here. Is this the best for the game mode? Is this going to help the game mode thrive? Is it going to help keep it healthy? In the end, is this a good change? Honestly, I think it is, but it has its issues. I'm not going to say it doesn't. It has its issues. But I really want to hear what y'all got to say. So tell me about your experience in there. Please keep it respectful again. I'd love to hear the perspective of the people who never went into trials. How do you feel about going into trials now? And the people who are the die-hard, flawless title holders, how y'all feel about this? Let me know. If you're new, please subscribe for, I don't know, I guess more opinion pieces, but mostly guides. And please drop a like if you like. And those comments will really help the channel. Thanks, y'all. I'm out.